Hello everyone, welcome to the channel. My name is Cordamt and this will be a short video at the request of one of my viewers. This is something that was also a problem with Baldur's Gate, which is how to actually, memorize your spells and use your spells on an arcane caster. So in Pillars of Eternity, the way you can memorize and prepare your spells is through this item, or items such as these, which are grimoires. So I'm going to be using Mr. Aloth here. He's one of the first companions you can get in the game. He's a wizard. And if you notice, when you open up his inventory screen, he will have his, his usual items. He will have his chest armor and whatnot. But he will also have an item here and this slot, which other characters do not have available. So you can see here, like grayed out, it says grimoire. So Durden doesn't have it, Eder doesn't have it. Nobody has it except for wizards. And in this case, if you want to see the spells that you have prepared, you can right click. So I'm just right clicking on the item here. It will open up this little book. And what you are seeing here is, well, you can also swap your characters, I hadn't noticed before. But you can see here whose grimoire and whose spells you are browsing. In this case, this is Aloth's. And this left section is the spells that he knows. So Aloth knows how to cast all of these spells on all of these levels. In this case, he only has a few because this is just an old save game from some other playthrough. But these are the spells he knows. And on this right side, this is his grimoire. So the spells that he has prepared, the spells that he can use while adventuring, are the ones that are memorized or prepared in his grimoire. So basically what this means is he knows how to cast all 6 of these spells, but if you go on an adventure like into a dungeon and you want to cast level 1 spells, you will only be able to cast from this selection right here. So you won't be able to cast Dazzling Lights or the Sunless Grasp with this particular grimoire. The way you can change this is you can simply left click on these spells to take them out of the grimoire, and then again you can left click the ones you want and they will be prepared in the grimoire. You can only change this when you are out of combat. You cannot change this in combat. That would be a little bit too good. But out of combat, like after a rest or before a fight, anything like that, if you think you want different spells, you can just go to your grimoire and swap the spells around just like this. You left click to take the spell out, you left click to bring the spell in. Same thing for any other level. Now, the other mechanic you have in Pillars of Eternity is that you don't actually have to play with Aloth's grimoire on Aloth. Eventually, you will be fighting other wizards throughout the game, and they will drop their grimoires. So, what does this mean? It's a grimoire, just like the one that Aloth has when you pick him up, but the grimoires you pick up will be populated, they will be prepared with spells that that particular spellcaster was using. So, in this case, we have a different spell selection here. We can see that we have these 4 spells, and for the second level we only have these 2 spells memorized. So there's nothing stopping me from using this grimoire. The only thing I would have to do is simply drag and drop, and basically we are replacing the grimoire that Aloth has equipped. And to further illustrate this, let's just check this again. We have Dazzling Lights, Sunless Grasp, Fan of Flames, and Chill Fog. And if we look at the spells he has available here, you can see that these 4 are the ones we just saw. The same thing for level 2. We have 4 spells memorized. If I were to swap grimoires, we can see here that the spells have changed. So in this case, he only has these spells right here. Now, what you can also do with this is, you will notice that on this grimoire here, Ludrana's grimoire, there is one spell that has this different symbol at the top here. So what this means is that this spell, Ghost Blades, even though it's memorized in your grimoire, it is not available for Aloth to cast. So what you would do if you wanted to cast this spell is simply open up this grimoire, click on this plus button, or you can also just right click on the spell and then click learn spell. And this will tell you it will cost you X amount of copper for Aloth to learn Ghost Blades. And this is the same for all levels. It's going to be 100 for first level, 200 for second, 300 for third, and so forth. So if you accept, Aloth has learned this particular spell. It will now show up in the known spells section of this UI. You can see it right here. And if we go and check now you can also cast Ghost Blades. So this is how you learn spells and how you prepare spells in your grimoire. Something else that you can do, this is actually something that I don't usually do, and if you checked out my playthrough, I never did this, but you can do it, is you can do something like, you can prepare a grimoire, which you could call like, let's say, a fully offensive grimoire, where you would have stuff like Fan of Flames and missiles and Ghost Blades and Fireball and whatnot. And you could bring that grimoire if you were going to fight, you know, a particular encounter where you just want more raw damage. And then you could have a different grimoire which you had already prepared with, let's say, control spells. So something to paralyze, something to blind, you know, stuff like that. Some defensive spells maybe. And this is basically just quality of life because, like we've discussed, you can just swap these anytime you want when you are out of combat. But it's just a way where you can have, you know, different spell kits prepared in different grimoires. And if you find yourself going to a fight where you need to be very defensive, you could just go, oh, okay, I'll bring my defensive grimoire, equip that, and go into the fight. If I just need offensive power, I'll take my offensive grimoire and use that one. And, you know, how many grimoires and whatever kind of organization you would like to do, you can do it like that. So that's how you play around with grimoires. Hopefully this was useful. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. In case you are interested in more, there are more video guides for Pillars of Eternity on the channel, as well as my full playthrough, the Triple Crown run in the highest difficulty, so Path of the Damned. So check that out if you also have any other questions, or just leave a comment if you like. If you have any more questions, like I said, just leave a comment, and I hope to see you all in some other video. Until then, stay safe everyone.